howdy, hey, how is everybody doing? And welcome back to Disney Daily. I have some pretty big news, which I'm sure majority of you Disney fans already knew, but for those who don't, we are getting a spin-off TV series of the Monsters, Inc. franchise. There are many questions regarding this new project, and I hope to not only answer them, but also explain why I'm not as excited as everyone else about the series. And trust me when I say, I think by the end of this video, you just might end up agreeing with me. Now let's move on to the facts that we know about the project thus far. For one, this project has been in the works since November of 2017. It is a direct sequel to Monsters, Inc. and will take place 6 months after Boo is returned home. It is set to be released July 2nd, 2021 on Disney+. The premise is as followed. The lively city of Monstropolis has made a full transition to being a city completely powered by laughter. Gone are the days of scaring. A recent graduate from MU, Tyler Tuskman, is now currently employed at Monsters, Inc. as a mechanic for the facilities team. However, Tyler yearns for more and dreams of working alongside company legends Mike and Sully on the laugh floor. The cast will include newcomers Ben Feldman as Tyler and Kelly Marie Tran as his best friend Val Little. Favorites Billy Crystal and John Goodman will be reprising their roles as Mike and Sully. Also reprising their roles will be Jennifer Tilly as Celia, John Ratzenberger as Yeti or Abominable Snowman, and Bob Peterson as the head of the CDA, Roz. Now, while I'm happy that the majority of the original Monsters, Inc. cast is returning, I still have a major issue with this TV series, which far outweighs the casting. Now, let me first reiterate that I love Monsters, Inc., but this series missed the mark for me personally, and here's why. The original Monsters, Inc. ends with one of the biggest cliffhangers in Pixar history. For those who don't remember, let's take a little walk down memory lane. At the end of the movie, after Boo's door is shredded, Mike lovingly puts it back together just to reunite his pal Sully with Boo. The very last frame we see is Sully walking through the pink flowered door, and we hear a small voice cry out, "Kitty," which was Boo's nickname for Sully. But we never actually get to see Sully and Boo together again. We are left with so many questions, such as how did their reunion go? Was it temporary or permanent? How old was Boo at the time that she was reunited with Sully? Did Sully spend some time in the human world? With an ending like that, you can see how this movie left audiences feeling a bit uneasy and hopeful that there would be a sequel in the near future. And we thought that's what we were getting in the year leading up to 2013, when we found out there was going to be another Monsters movie. But sadly, this movie wasn't a sequel like every fan wanted. No, instead we got a prequel, which I will say was fun and creative, but not what curious fans were hoping for after 12 years. After the prequel, I think many, including myself, were happy with the second movie, but were holding on to the hopes that we would see the monsters reunited with Boo in the next Monsters project. I mean, how could Pixar not address one of the biggest questions, what happened? And now I'm sad to report that we will not be getting our answers in the Monsters at Work series, or at least that's how it seems thus far. So as you can see, there is a pattern for not finishing the story of Mike, Sully, and Boo's dynamic. And this is why I'm not looking forward to this next chapter. Don't get me wrong, of course it's exciting to have new characters and storylines, but I want the old story finished before we move on to something different. Not to mention Mike and Sully aren't even the main characters in this TV series. As I've learned, the show mostly focuses on the new lead, Tyler. I don't really know why Pixar chose to go this direction with the TV series. To be honest, I think there are so many more interesting storylines. For instance, they could have just brought back the old sequel movie concept they created and just turned it into a TV show instead. Now, for those of you who don't know, Monsters, Inc. did actually have a sequel planned years ago before Disney bought Pixar called Lost in Scaradise. The premise focused on Mike and Sully going back to visit Boo in the human world and getting lost in the city. I honestly think this would have been the perfect addition to the Monsters franchise and would have completed the story for me personally. And from there, they could have done whatever spin-off they wanted. But this is all just my opinion. I would like to hear yours in the comments down below. As always, thanks for being my guest here at Disney Daily. Until next time.